Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am Salmanur Rashid, working in Population Welfare Department, Punjab as Tehsil Officer Kamuki. Today's topic of discussion is harnessing demographic dividend. This topic is about forecasting that how our youth and how our population bulge will eventually contribute towards economic prosperity of this country and the people of Pakistan. So this topic have multiple dimensions, starting from the current scenario, moving on to the problems which this country and the province of Punjab is facing, and later we'll talk about that what areas require attention in multiple fields. So this would be a discussion in which we'll try to summarize aspects of multiple things which are related to the province of Punjab and to the people of this country. Pakistan, being the fifth largest and the most populated country of the world, is facing a diverse problem set, and that is causing multiple issues in the country. Moving from agricultural issues, climatic change, climatic problems, talking about issues of unemployment, where the youth of Pakistan is facing multiple issues and problems. So this talk is mainly about identifying that where we are standing and how we can improvise on that. Population planning, population dividend planning, population demographic transition, these are the topics which we will be discussing on in this talk and in this discussion. So, demographic transition eventually transform into demographic dividend as well. The transition where people actually, their number, their size move from a smaller set to a bigger one is something which cause multiple issues and problems to cater with. They cause problems of administration, they cause problems of governance, they cause problems of tolerance, social, cultural harmony. These are the issues which result from overpopulation. That transformation also cause a huge number of people who are actually now becoming part of youth bulge and youth population. Pakistan's family planning program in Punjab as well, is causing a substantial decrease in the population growth rate. That population growth rate in relation to the actual population number is causing some kind of reduction. So that is increasing an age group from 15 to 60, and that age group is actually responsible for economic growth and prosperity of the people. In 1947, this country started with 32 million population, and most recently in year 2023, we have reached almost to 242. Pakistan is witnessing a population growth rate of 2.55%. So on average every year, this country is actually increasing at a rate of 2.55%, and total 6.2 million people are increasing every year. 6.2 million means that every year we need to establish an entire new city of Rawalpindi. So we need to establish economic infrastructure, we need to establish education, healthcare, we need to establish each and every kind of facility for the entire city of Rawalpindi every year. Are we responding to that? Are we taking our responsibility wholeheartedly? Do our youth, our people are aware that what type of issues and problems we are facing? The country who is probably worst affected by the climatic change in recent times is actually, these problems are mainly caused due to unplanned expansion and growth of population. So this talk will also focus to identify what are the reasons behind that population bulge and how we can transform that population youth bulge into an asset for the people of this country. So, there are approximately 100 million people who are in between the age of 15 and 60. And above all, the larger number is basically part of age group which is the youth age group. Starting in late teens and moving on to early 30s is the major age group which is right now witnessing problems like that they have lack of direction in their careers, they are missing on economic opportunities, they are facing the problems like unemployment and multiple other range of issues which these people are facing. Pakistan is now moving from 32 million to 250 million. And with this pace of population increase, that population youth bulge is also continuously increasing. Right now, available jobs in Pakistan are around 95 million. 95 million include both skilled and unskilled workers. Talking about 95 million, it includes skilled and unskilled workers, but overall total requirement of economy is more than 145 million. So that means there is a gap of over 50 million jobs which are required for both skilled and unskilled workers. This proportion will rapidly increase over a period of time. And biggest problem in this country is that Pakistan's female workforce share in the total employment which is available to the women is just 22%. खवातीन जो कि 100 फॉर एग्जाम्पल नौकरी के लिए अवेलेबल है, उनमें से सिर्फ 22 खवातीन इस मुल्क के अंदर नौकरी कर रही हैं. सो तकरीबन 80% खवातीन जो काम कर सकती हैं, जिनके पास कोई नॉलेज है, स्किल है, या अगर वो अनस्किल्ड लेबरर भी हैं तो वो काम नहीं कर रही हैं. ये हमारे माशरती निज़ाम, हमारे माशी हालात, इन सब की वजूहात मिलकर ये कॉज कर रही हैं. इसका रिजल्ट ये निकलता है कि पाकिस्तान की जो पर कैपिटा इनकम है वो that is on the lower side, having one of the lowest per capita incomes across the world. And that lower per capita income is mainly, one of the major cause is that the involvement of the women as workforce is very much discouraged in this society. So to include these women into workforce is something which is essentially required. Women in Pakistan obviously focus on the family, and raising a family is something which is their priority. But that priority became pretty much a hurdle in country's economic and social growth. Highly qualified women who are probably engineers, doctors, qualified technicians, qualified professionals, they when got married, the most likely chance is that when their family starts, they start to spend time at home while focusing on raising these children. So eventually this causes an impact over per capita income because they are not continuing to contribute towards economy and to the people as well. This is overall a cultural dilemma as well, that women are discouraged in this society to go out and to work and to earn for the family as well. So keeping this thing in mind, when you talk about population structures and population demographic dividend, they are interconnected with multiple elements. So the elements which contribute towards improvising that population structure into a transition of demographic dividend, that is connected through governance, that is connected through education, that is connected through health, and that is also connected to economic subsystems. These all four elements contribute widely towards transforming these population structures into demographic transition, and that demographic transition will eventually provide dividend and benefit to the people overall. So one by one we will highlight that how education systems are important in improvising. Youth needed to be educated in a way that they able to understand the modern day changes in terms of technology, in terms of modern knowledge, and overall that youth required to improvise on their skill set to match the needs of economy as well. Pakistan's education systems unfortunately are far behind. If we try to identify that how our education systems are competing with the world education systems, so unfortunately we can say that hardly there is any institution who is in a capacity to compete with them. There is no doubt about the talent and skill of the people, but the institution which have the responsibility to harness these skills are not providing opportunities for the skill development. So education institutions needed to actually synchronize with the economic needs of the modern day time. Second most important element is the quality of health. Overall, a healthy family, a healthy man can actually build healthy society as well. So the quality of health and the health standard starts from the family life. So we need to learn the skills how to harness the health and the ability to survive in these circumstances. Pakistan unfortunately is one of those countries who are badly affected by the climatic change. And that climatic change is badly affecting and impacting our quality of health as well. Pakistan's people, the hospitals, the quality of hospitals which we are having, and the health standards which we are having are unfortunately alarming in that case. So to harness that youth bulge, it is very important to implement and introduce and execute quality health standards overall in our society. Moving on, the economic subsystem and its transition and its transformation is very, very vital. Last 10 to 5 years witnessed transformation in economic subsystems, inclusion of technology, inclusion of artificial intelligence, and the transformation of skill set is actually contributing a lot towards economic systems transformation as well. Here it is very important to understand that Pakistan's economy and youth is supposed to equip themselves to match the global standards. Pakistani youth should understand that their skill upgradation is very, very important and necessary to transform this economy into an export-based economy. So growth in primary sector, growth and transformation in the secondary sector, growth and transformation in the tertiary sector is something required. So this youth, which is very quickly contributing and moving into that independent population in terms of economic growth, require a transformation as well. So economic subsystems and synchronization with these economic subsystems is something which is required in our economy and in our society as well. The next important element is the element of governance. Governance is a combination of both public and private partnership. Institutional reforms, institutional efficiency is something which is required, starting from the civil administration, moving on to military administration, moving on to the judiciary, moving on to the other subsystems like education. It is very, very important that all these subsystems should take the responsibility to work in accordance with their mandate and in accordance with their aims and objectives as well. Governance is the key element. Bad governance, poor management is actually resulting into the wastage of resources. So managing our lives, managing our economic resources is something key and important element of our social life. So to talk about harnessing that youth dividend is something very vital and very important. Keeping this thing in mind, now I am reaching to the conclusion and the last part of our discussion, which is that how we can improvise on harnessing the skill and harnessing the youth bulge of our society. Talking about Pakistan's youth, Pakistan's demographic dividend, it is very important to be systematic and focusing on the necessary aspects of our society's potentials and their elements of growth as well. So talking about multiple things, यहाँ पे हम अपनी डिस्कशन को ख़त्म करते हैं चंद अहम नुकात को जहन में रखते हुए. उन अहम नुकात के अंदर सबसे अहम बात यह है कि हर फर्द जो इस मुल्क का शहरी है उसको अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, उसको अपनी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को समझना पड़ेगा. वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बहैसियत एक इंसान के, बहैसियत एक पाकिस्तानी के, बहैसियत एक भाई के, बहैसियत एक माँ के, बहैसियत एक बेटी के, बहैसियत एक फ़र्द के हमारे लिए बहुत अहम है. हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा कि इस माशरे में रहते हुए, इस मुल्क में रहते हुए हमें अपनी तमाम की तमाम जिम्मेदारियों को समझना चाहिए और उन जिम्मेदारियों को एक अच्छे अंदाज में, एहसन अंदाज में परफॉर्म करना चाहिए. यहाँ पे यूथ जो है वो सिर्फ कंप्लेंट नहीं कर सकती. यूथ सिर्फ ये नहीं कह सकती कि हर चीज़ की जिम्मेदार हुकूमत है. हमारी जो इंडिविजुअल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ हैं, हमारी जो ज़ाती रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ हैं, वो बहुत अहम रोल और बहुत एक अहम किरदार अदा करती हैं. सो इस पूरे की पूरी डिस्कशन को मैं कंक्लूड करूंगा इस नुक्ते के ऊपर कि शिकवा ज़ुल्मत शब से तो कहीं बेहतर था अपने हिस्से की शम्मा जलाते जाते. शुक्रिया.